Year.
Sophomore.
So it was an ACL.
Yep.
Was it just the ACL?
ACL and a microfracture.
Okay. So pretty big surgery.
Yeah.
About a 9-month recovery, or maybe a little bit more?
I took a year off.
Did you? Yeah.
Mhm.
And so what's it like to go through, like it was your first major injury, I'm
Yeah.
assuming. Talk about I guess maybe when an injury happens, what you go through, and then the next step of rehab and months long. D-Rob was on crutches for, immobile for, I don't know, felt like 3 months.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
So talk about that.
It's a hard process. Just with going through the ACL process wasn't terrible, because it's you get on the crutches, and then it's weight bearing for 2 days, and then it's you're weight bearing because you're teaching yourself to walk. But my microfractures were super hard, especially being at Duke. It was I was no weight bearing for almost 2.5 months. I had to walk up hills with crutches and stuff. So it was super annoying. And with the microfractures, you have to make sure you had to really do the rehab right, or I would have messed up my scopes that was going inside everything. So I had to make sure that I was getting on my machine every day, making sure my knee was mobile, and making sure that I was doing every step right, or it could set you back, and then you can be set back more months. So I just tried to make sure I was, even though it gets boring, and it gets super boring because you do the same thing in rehab over and over and over, I just had to keep the mindset as in I want to be a better player, and maybe this is a setback for me to become a better player and take out the time to work on my body, get in shape, get everything back built right. So that's how I kept my mindset as in just this is just the time for me to work on my game and chop it up a little bit, but also focus on getting my whole entire body right so I won't have to go through these steps again.
Yep. What was it like when you first got back and you started going on the court playing for real?
Man, I remember my first game, I was missing every shot. I was just dang. I never felt so just rusty until you go out there and you just really just missing just every shot, every single shot. So it's okay, now it's you got to find the pace again. You got to find just the feel of being around players and stuff like that. You got to find being back on the game again. So it took me a moment to get back to myself.
So what's your experience like when you go overseas? So you were in Hatay. What was the city like? What were some of the things that you did? Where were the bars that you went to, the clubs? I'm just messing, AJ. You don't have to tell me all that.
If we had, the crazy part about it, if
they didn't have any?
No. Hatay was not a really good city at all. It was hardly anything to eat. We went to the mall every day if we wanted food.
What kind of food?
It wasn't good food.
No.
So, if you really wanted to eat, you had to, cook. But you had to, if you wanted to go to, the good grocery stores, you had to go to the mall.
Okay.
You had to go find the good meat that you really wanted to make sure the meat was good and not nasty and stuff like that. I wasn't in the best city. We stayed in, dorm rooms. So I had 4 walls.
So you mean it's not a glamorous life? What we talk about over here is how amazing it is to go play in Europe and you make all this money and they take care of you. You mean those stories aren't true?
Not this one. Not mine.
Maybe a couple stories.
Maybe a couple of them. Not mine. Hatay wasn't the prettiest city at all.
Who'd you play with on your team?
I played with Gloria and Courtney Paris.
And what was that like?
Oh, it was different. Playing with different players, you get to experience different things with the players. Gloria's super athletic, and they're both vets in the league, so you get to learn their ropes and what they've been through, going overseas because they've been there, done that. So you just learn different things from playing with them.
So you're going into your 3rd year in the WNBA. What are you most looking forward to as you embark on sort of a new time with the Lynx? As you know, we've talked about when we drafted you 12th, we didn't expect you to be there. It wasn't necessarily a position that we needed, but we felt like you were a value pick for us, and that was something that we needed to do. But when you came here, there wasn't really a lot of opening, playing time, minutes. You spent kind of 2 years going through that. I think you see now things are changing a little bit. Obviously the retirement of Lindsay, still wanting to manage minutes for some of the older players. Where are you mentally about your opportunity here in Minnesota?
Mentally, being back here, I'm mentally just trying to just get better. And the more I get better, the more opportunities I will get and to be able to help the team. So I really have the mindset of just getting better and focusing on me. And then once I can focus on me and me getting better, I think everything else will come along and I'll become a better, not just player, but a better teammate, a better leader as well. So I'm really just trying to, being here and having this opportunity to be here for 5 months, I'm really determined to get better and to feel that next level of experience that I never experienced before. So like I'm excited that I got this opportunity because I get to experience a different type of feeling that I never experienced before. So
and that's being prepared, right? Feeling prepared as you go in.
Yeah, prepared and just prepared and ready.
Yeah.
So prepared and ready and hoping that everything work out as planned, but also just getting better. That's really what my main focus on is, just getting better and becoming a better player. I know if I can get better and become a better player, everything will work out for itself.
That's exactly right. You're from the Dallas area, right? I heard there was a Alexis Jones spotting over in Waco. Is that true? Were you over there last night?
Oh, yeah, I was. I showed up for the UConn games. Congratulations to Baylor and Kim and to the other players on the team. They played really well. It's exciting to go and watch the girls play. They were super excited when I walked in there, the locker room and stuff. But I'm happy that, I showed up and they showed out for me. We got the dub with them. But there's some super athletic girls on there, on that team, and I'm proud of them.
Yeah, that had to be fun to watch. I think the last time UConn lost was to Baylor. I don't know. Last time how many years? 2014, I want to say it was. Were you around?
Nope.
Okay. Yeah, so you didn't have a chance to beat the Huskies
at all. At all. I experienced to watch it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's about
What'd you think of the game? What'd you think of the players, the quality of the players? There were a couple WNBA coaches there last night watching. Bill Lambier, Brian Agler were seen. Vicki Johnson, who was sitting in front of both Bill and Brian. They didn't acknowledge her on ESPN, but she was front and center. There was a lot of prospects there. What do you see as far as the next kind of group of players coming into the WNBA? In terms of the talent level, what you think they're going to be facing as they get ready to embark on the WNBA career?
I think it's a different experience of players as I keep watching the level of how when I grew up, because I grew up with the Odysseys, the Brittany Griners, the Shanae, the NECA. So I grew up with a lot of those.
Those are some good players.
Yeah, I grew up in that area and we're all Texas people,
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in that area where Texas was back in the day, basketball was really, really good. So watching the players, it's especially Gino. Gino's a super, super great coach and he puts players in great situations. So I think it's Katie Lou, the shooter.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't have a really good game, but when she was on, you can tell she can hit some shots, I think they lived and died by the three last night, and they didn't really make, Baylor play any defense,
Mm-hmm.
but Kim came with it, and as she always do with her one down, she changed the play.
Mm-hmm.
As in, nobody.
She sure did.
She changed the play to one down for Kalani to always get that lob to her. Kalani had a great game. She came in there and had a double-double, so I'm super proud of her. But one player that really was outstanding to me is, I don't know her name, but I know is number one. She only got 15 minutes, but she was a huge factor for him.
She was great.
Yeah.
Her activity level. And
I
can't think of her name either, but
she was a huge factor for her.
Yeah.
She came off the bench and she was ready to play.
She sure was.
If she didn't make a jump shot, she did something on the defensive end,
Yep.
But if Kalani missed a layup, she was there to back up Kalani for a layup.
Tip ends, yeah.
So she was a super big factor for them too. So, and they hit some jump shots. So
Kalani hit some right away from the basket.
Mm-hmm.
She can shoot it now. I mean, what's she? Is she about 6'4", 6'5"? Is she bigger than that?
Yeah,
Is she,
about 6'7", is she?
Yeah, I mean, close to 6'7", lefty, big. Obviously she's great around the basket, but last night she was able to step out, probably hit about 3 jumpers beyond the foul line.
Yeah, she could shoot that jumper.
Yeah.
She'll get out there and shoot it.
They were giving it to her, but I think they figured that was a better option than them throwing it inside, the high-low, from Kalani to Lauren. I mean, it didn't matter how it went. It was
you got to give one up, and
That's
which one
exactly
you going to give up? And she was knocking it down.
And she made him pay. But at the end of the day, UConn couldn't score. Because I don't think they were disappointed with their defense. I think I think that 30 at halftime that they hit 70. I don't know if they even hit 70 points. So it wasn't about UConn's defense. It was certainly about UConn not being able to put the ball in the hole a little bit.
And that's never been the crazy part. That's never been a factor for UConn.
No, I think that was one of their 29. I think it was like 29%. Might have been one of their top 3 worst all time. So but you got to give credit to Baylor. Their defense, because like you said, Kim had them ready. Yeah, they were pretty pumped up.
They were for sure ready. They was ready to play. They was playing some defense. Also, I don't know her name either. Number 2, she played some really good defense on Katie Lou. She distracted her, blocked the shots from threes.
She did. She can shoot it too.
Yeah. She was ready. Yeah. She was, she did the dirty work.
I think her name is Juicy.
Yep.
Isn't that Juicy?
No, Juicy was the one that was hitting good shots for him.
All right.
Juicy made some good shots.
They got the all-name team now. Juicy. There's like 3 other ones.
I know there's another girl. Her name is number 2. She was guarding Katie Lou.
Yeah.
And she played some really good defense on her. Blocked the shots a couple times from the 3-point line.
Yep.
She played some really good defense. So.
No, and then the fans were great, as you know. That's one of the great things about playing at Baylor is the fans, the support.
Yeah. The support system's always there for Baylor.
Yeah.
Baylor has a great support system.
Yeah. Well, thanks for stopping by, AJ.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Good to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks to Alexis Jones for joining us. We appreciate it. That was fun. One of the advantages of doing a show in Cheryl's office. Cool people just dropping by.
They make the mistake of walking by. Get in here.
Yeah, exactly. Whether they like it or not.
That's right.
Alexis was great, and I'm sure she was happy to do it, but she wasn't going to say no.
Right. No, she's happy. She's today was her first full. She was at the game last night, so today was the first. She flew in today, got a workout in, and I don't know if you could see it, but obviously I spent a lot of time with AJ, and she's looking forward to new opportunities here.
Yeah.
And she took a leap of faith in leaving the European play. It wasn't going that well for her, and she just sort of recognized I might be able to do more for myself, my career, longer term, if I can get back to Minneapolis and spend some time with the coaches there. And so both sides are making an investment in each other, and hopefully, Jim, you'll kind of come back to this time as we get, we'll be in the middle of the season, and hopefully you'll see an Alexis Jones that's really grown up and, getting the opportunities and contributing, and you're going to think about this conversation that we had because it'll be January 4th that it really started for her.
I just random thought I just had as you were talking about that. By the way, my wife came out to the charity event we did at Dot's Gray Kitchen, and Rebekkah Brunson's Sweet Gypsy Waffles was there, and it was just a cool event. And my wife was, she's just never been a big basketball fan, and I don't know that she's ever been to a Lynx game. She sat there and just listening to Danielle and Rebekkah and you talk. She was like, I want to go to the Lynx games. So I think we're going to be. I think she's going to be out here watching Alexis Jones play.
We get a lot of that we say that early on when I first got to town, there was 2 things I would hear. You'd meet great people and you connect with them, and they go, but I'm not really a basketball fan. Because I would say, come on out to a Lynx game. Right. Well, I'm not really a basketball fan. And then I told them it's more than basketball.
Yeah.
And they said, what do you mean? I said, just come out and kind of follow a little bit, and you'll see what I mean. And the second one was that. But I have a cabin. But I can tell you what, that's the last thing I hear anymore because I think what people have learned, the importance of supporting it. You have a cabin, but having season tickets is really important. And so that when you leave to go to your cabin, if you make that choice, that you find someone that you can introduce the game to, that you can share your tickets with. And I think our fan base has really learned that part of the importance of supporting and helping us grow the fan base. And I think that it's not uncommon to hear what your wife said, that I'm not a big basketball fan. I mean, there's so many people, so many stories ago, I don't even know anything about basketball, but I love coming to the games.
Yeah. And the other experience I had last year was Russo's Filter is he's a Twitter character who literally
Is there such a thing as a Russo's filter?
Well, that's the thing, is he basically created this what's the word I'm looking for? This fictional character who would tell people what Russo really wanted to say on Twitter. It was a great bit, right? Well, now he does the fan show on my network, and the fan show is all about fan anger. It's having a place to vent, right? So he rips everything.